Hello, friend. David Roy Newby here, founder of LegacyBuilders.co and author of the new book coming out shortly, Beyond Billions: How to Create a Multi-Generational Legacy of Success, Modeling Trillionaire King Solomon's Wisdom. I want to talk to you today about one of Solomon's teachings that I read recently, and just a couple of thoughts I've been having lately about how to powerfully deal with challenges in life. And so, my new book is very personal, talks about things I've never put in print before, and actually, up until a month ago, never even vocalized to many people before. So, in Proverbs 28:27, this is a writing of King Solomon, it says, "He who gives to the poor will never want, but he who shuts his eyes will have many curses." So, it's really easy to look to hear that and go, oh, just as long as I give some money to the Salvation Army, it's Christmas time, the Salvation Army guys are all over. As long as I put some money in the cup, I'm fine. That is one way to do that. You can also give to microfinance groups or whatever charities that support the poor that you're passionate about working with. But I want you to think about poor does not just describe a material state or someone, most people in the world actually make under $2 a day, something like 80% of the world's population. Or maybe it's 70, I forget the exact numbers. It's in the book Abundance by Peter Diamandis. But poor is also a spiritual state, and a lot of times there's a lot of books about Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker and God Wants You to Be Rich, great book. A lot of books about renewing your mind, Think and Grow Rich, the original self-help book by Napoleon Hill. Actually, I think the Bible is the original self-help book, but Napoleon Hill put it in modern language and really did a great job encapsulating um, the science of success. And so I want to talk today about the state of poverty that relates to childhood experiences. Often men are taught don't share weaknesses and don't share hurts, don't share pains, as it makes you look like a wuss or it makes you look not manly. And so a lot of men hang on to a lot of pain unnecessarily. Um, so just as an example, my brother was molested by a family member of ours for almost a year, and he didn't tell anyone for like 6 years. He told me like 6 years later, and through that, by him finally opening up and talking to someone about it, he was able to get therapy and help and talk through all of his emotions about that. A lot of men, he was imprisoned by shame, by thinking to keep this secret for literally 6 years. I mean, half of his whole life. And so I want to encourage you, if you're in a spiritual poor state, there are people out there that will be willing to support you. And so you don't need to, shut your eyes to your own poverty of experience. And that applies to anything, whether it's in business, you had a business failure. I lost $500,000 in 2008, and that was, really put a huge strain on my marriage and caused, my wife to doubt me and caused me to doubt myself. And so oftentimes our failures are things that teach us the biggest lessons. But looking back now, I'm super glad I lost that 500 grand because it forced me to realize I need to have wise advisors. I need to be asking them for input regularly. I need to be listening to their counsel regularly so I can make great decisions. I've talked to people who have lost $100 million or $57 million overnight because they were not diligent enough in their planning. I work with someone who had a client who lost $2 billion because of some important details in their family dynamics and estate planning that they didn't address and didn't talk about with their heirs. So I want to encourage you. You can be spiritually poor in any area that you have a weakness and are unwilling to face something, a hard truth or a hard reality of a situation. So I just want to encourage you. Don't stay trapped in spiritual poverty anymore. If you're a guy, admit, hey, I don't know what to do about this. I've met guys who are 60 years old and multi millionaires. They didn't even have a will done because of a fear of an advisor taking advantage of them. And so that's a real risk, but it's a bigger risk to, lose an 8-figure estate and have that go into probate, where for literally 5 grand, you could have someone drop some trust documents for you, and 20 grand tops, drop some trust documents, write everything out about how you want it to be administered, and it's set up. So I would encourage you, it's manly to ask for help. It is not manly to be all stoic and I'm the man and I got this. No, that's called foolishness. That's pride. Pride comes before a fall, and humility comes before honor. So I encourage you, just really look at your own life. Look at some areas where you have blocks, where you're right now existing in spiritual poverty, and then ask God for wisdom. Ask some advisors, some people you trust. What would you suggest I do about this? Start with someone that's mature, that believes in you, and that you think that is wise, that is willing to offer help. So, granted, for a lot of men, that might be a short list, and it likely is. So, there's literally only have one person in your life. That's okay. I would encourage you pray and ask for wisdom about to go talk to that person. You can sometimes put a feeler out about a couple items and just see, are they judgmental or are they willing to be empathetic and listen. If you have no one in your life who can be a good listener, I encourage you, go to a local pastor or a rabbi. Call a few of them, and there are many, places that will give you free counseling. My friend Tim, an amazing coach and counselor, serves, multimillionaire clients just like I do, and he also does, free counseling and coaching for, drug addicts off the street, people who are, near death's door. And so I encourage you, there is help out there. The first step is just admit to yourself, I'm in a state of spiritual poverty. I'm not getting the results I want necessarily in my life. And then once you admit that, say, I want to improve it. I'm willing to get help. I'm going to get help. And then go and look for help from someone who can help you. So I trust this video has been empowering to you. There'll be many topics like this covered in my new book, Beyond Billions, along with several billionaires that I interviewed for the book that will be featured that you can learn from, as well as, most importantly, the wisdom of King Solomon. You'll be learning in the book how to utilize the wisdom of King Solomon to thrive in every area of your life and build a legacy of success and have a framework to pass on, coping mechanism, growth mechanisms, business management mechanisms, legacy management mechanisms, so that your family, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations from now, will not only be successful, but they will know who you are because you put your family on a whole new course. I came from murdery, adultery, and abuse, and I'm radically transforming the legacy of my family. So I encourage you, you can do it as well. But the first step is to admit where you're not getting it done, and just admit you're in a state of poverty there, and realize that there is a state of abundance available when you ask for help. God bless. Shalom. I hope to talk to you again soon. Bye for now. By the way, beyondbillions.com is the website for my new book. So you can go there, and if the links are alive, then you can buy it off of Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, all the different places that books are sold. Bye for now, friend.